Hello, beautiful people. Elisa Matthews here with two beautiful ladies that I'm graced with. Kim White, is going to be newly introduced to you guys, and Ginger Bailey, who everybody already knows. Information will be for both of them in the description box, but will also be splashed on the screen at some point, if not already. All right, so Kim, thank you for
Hi.
agreeing to introduce yourself here. I'm very excited to hear all about you and your healing and hypnosis and etc. So, would you like to tell me your story? How did it all begin?
Sure. Well, thank you for having me. I'm truly honored. Thank you both. My story began back in 2021. I almost died. I got very, very sick and acutely sick with sepsis, and it wasn't discovered until about a week later. I was actually
Oh,
supposed to go to school uh, to get my master's as a physician's assistant because I love the science of the human body and medicine.
yeah.
And consequently, when I got sick, I was home for 3 months, and that's when my journey began. I was watching TV and home and just sick, 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 and I was led to Reiki and watching that on TV and energetic healing and holistic because the medical community pretty much sent me home to die.
Oh,
A couple weeks later, I had tested positive for COVID. I hadn't been anywhere, so I don't know if that was the same time. Basically, I was not a candidate for admit at the hospital because all my other labs were normal, minus my white cell count bottoming out and a few other things. But
oh,
so I was sent home.
yeah.
End result, it ended in surgery. And but I was home for 3 months. And during that 3 months, this whole awakening transformational thing began. But I can honestly say that I started getting signs before. I remember I was an MRI tech assistant, and I told my partner, I said, "Ooh, look at all these angel numbers. Something good's gonna happen. Something good's gonna happen." Well, that was right before I got sick.
Oh,
And
ooh,
so that was
I'm
the start
good.
of it. Yeah,
Oh,
something good. Yeah, it took me out, but needless to say that I switched gears from wanting mainstream medicine to the holistic approach. And
That's the good part. That's the good part afterwards.
that's the good
oh,
part.
That's the good
yeah,
part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. So it started with Reiki and then sound and then, some different modalities of healing with angels and archangels. And here it was with hypnosis and, that's just bends in the river because I know there's more coming, but that's how I got to this point today.
So
Hmm.
exciting. Did you have a near-death experience at all? Were you out of body?
Not this time. When I was little, I did. I busted into a bottle of aspirins, and I can remember very vividly what that was. And at that time, when I was there, there was a voice that said, "You need to go back because you're not meant here right now." And
How
I can
old were
still see it
you?
as clear today. I was about 5.
Oh gosh.
Mhm.
Aspirins taste
Yeah.
terrible unless they're baby
Yeah.
aspirin.
Right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was a regular full bottle, and I don't
Oh,
know what I was doing. I
God.
was old munching on aspirin, but yeah,
Mm.
that's what happened. This time, no, I just was so sick. I could not get up to just change my clothes. I was gray in color. And I remember telling my mom before she left her little earth body, I'm dying. I'm dying. And yeah, it was horrible. It was horrible.
I'm so
Yeah.
sorry you had to
Yeah.
go through that in order to get, latch onto your wonderful, exciting spiritual journey. But the universe can be harsh sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes it'll
Yeah.
hit you with a feather, do this. And if you don't respond, it'll be a little ball peen hammer, do this. And then eventually be a sledgehammer. You're
Yeah.
doing this or
Yeah.
else.
Pay attention.
Pay attention indeed.
Usually how I roll is the sledgehammer because I just don't get the hint sometimes.
Oh, me too. Girl, me too. Me too. I must have little craters all over my head. Okay, so tell us what you do now.
Well, I'm a board certified holistic health practitioner, and under that umbrella, Reiki master teacher,
Wow.
angelic instructor practitioner, a certified 5 path hypnotist. I'm also studying Dolores Cannon's QHHT
Oh,
method of hypnosis as well, which is fascinating. It's completely opposite of what I learned with 5 path with Cal Banyan. So that's the avenue right now. I'm trying to combine the energetic healing with the hypnosis because they all just intertwine.
mhm.
There's a lot of power in words and in suggestions. So once we can get someone to the proper brainwave state, a lot of things can happen within the body because the subconscious mind is extremely powerful.
Very.
Hmm. Absolutely.
Somebody sent me Instagram of this. There was a video showing leukemia cells, and they were giving it like 100,000 megahertz or whatever, I can't remember, of sound that a frequency, and you could see them just start to disintegrate. And so
Yes.
the guy thinks we should
That's
make
cool.
these rooms for children with leukemia, for example, that have this frequency, kind of a safe place. They can play with their toys, etc. Go there on a daily basis, and boom, what an amazing cure that would be. No losing hair and no throwing up and all that. So I'm hoping that we're moving in that direction. It sounds like you're helping lead the way for all those as well. So,
Well, it's funny that you mentioned that because Royal Rife back in 1929 actually
yes.
had the first electromagnetic frequency machine and had 16 stage 4 pancreatic cancer patients, and 88% of them were cured. I actually have one of those machines here.
Mm.
And so just even with frequency alone, I could tell you a story. I've got nodules on my thyroid.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them was questionable. So I started putting frequency just by a headphone on my throat, as well as toning in a certain note. Those nodules change shape.
Wow.
And so what was questionable is not really questionable anymore. They're watching it, but it wasn't, okay, this, we don't know if it's cancer. We don't know. It literally changed shape. They changed and they got smaller, and just, so sound is very powerful. Frequency is powerful. We're all
Very
Yeah.
vibrational beings. Yeah.
cool.
Yes.
So how
Very
long
much.
has the journey been taking for you? You started,
Hell, I've been what?
so you started when you got very sick. So how long has
Yes.
this process been going on to date for you?
To date, it's been, well, 2021, 3 years. Three
Okay.
years.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I have been sponsoring, and I was, I was a sponsor for people in AA, and I have always been in that modality to help people ever since I was little, and little gifts with the family that, were somewhat psychic abilities, which I'm going to be developing again. I'm taking Ginger's class pretty soon, and
Yeah.
to get back. But officially 2021 to present with what I'm
Okay.
doing now.
Yeah, I just want to say that some of the things that I mean, it's all interesting, everything I was looking at on your website, but the the um the hypnotism that you do, for healing people and giving them direction if they have issues in life, like with any kind of addiction or weight issues. I mean, just detail that it takes, that it takes care of. I find so interesting.
So tell me about that. Yeah.
Well, yeah, there's always an underlying cause to an issue.
Yeah.
No one wakes up one day and says, I think I want to be an addict or I'm going to be overweight. The two differences with the two types of hypnosis that I do are fascinating, and I'll decide based on what the client needs, what style of hypnosis. Typically, we'll age regress all the way back to find that initial sensitizing event to cause whatever it was, the weight gain or the addiction or the anxiety.
Yeah.
And sometimes we don't find it in this life. So we
Yeah.
go back to
Yeah,
past
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's
and
what's cool.
that's my passion, is the past life regression and spirit attachments, because we all have at certain points in our lives, we have little spirits attached to us, but sometimes, you got a colleague had a case study where this one woman in her 60s wanted to quit drinking. She never had any trauma. There was no reason for her to start. There was no family history. So he age regressed her back to 5 years old. And all of a sudden, Billy came out of her voice.
Oh,
Well,
wow.
Wow.
Billy passed away when she was 5. He was a honky tonk truck driving, just good old boy, liked to party, and he passed away in a car accident. Didn't realize he was gone. And so, amongst his travels on this earth, he was just very pulled to her energy and attached to her.
Why
And
would,
as a direct result, she picked up his habits.
oh, wow. Why was he drawn to her energy?
Yeah, it was just the complete opposite of what he was.
Oh,
And
okay.
sometimes those opposites attract, and they,
Hmm.
want what
Yeah,
we have. And so,
yeah.
yeah. So once we realized that Billy was the cause of her alcoholism, we set my colleague, not we, my colleague set Billy free,
Yeah.
and she was done with alcohol. That
That is
Yeah.
easy.
so awesome. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
what percent of people do you have to regress to a past life compared to remaining hypnosed in?
For typical too much behaviors, past life comes up 5% of the time.
Okay.
But I have those specifically who want to see me to do past life regression.
Oh, yeah.
And that's more of my business than anything. Yes, I have my weight loss clients and, some others, but the past life regression is who I see the most.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's fascinating.
Yeah. I was going to say, Erik, when you were talking about the attachments, Erik was saying that what happens is people are drawn to certain energies. Like, for instance, if somebody maybe didn't finish out what they were here to learn, they might follow somebody to continue to learn, like on their life issues. But sometimes that makes it heavier for the person here, and it makes it hard for them to get out of that. So whether it's a drinker or a smoker or somebody who just is so depressed or sad, it really holds them in that place.
I forgot to say bye, and I love you, Erik. Gosh.
I love you, Mama. I love you. It's okay. He said it's like he loves you.
Hello, Erik. Nice seeing you again.
Do you communicate with Erik at all? Do you channel?
I do channel, but I don't channel. I've got channels of my own guides.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll drive down the road and they just start channeling, and then I'll pick up my phone because I'll forget because they're just downloading everything else, and I'll record it on my phone.
Oh,
but
cool.
Yeah, Ginger's awesome with Erik, and so my own guides talk to me.
That's cool.
Yeah.
All right. So, also things from other dimensions, darker entities, can also attach to those who are depressed or have substance abuse problems, etc. And right. So
yes, those are
absolutely.
the ones who are more susceptible. The ones that are depressed.
Like energy matching, vibration matching.
Yeah, it's an energy matching. Empaths, a lot of empaths get that too. I mean, because we're just magnets to all that. Yeah, of course.
Right. Yeah.
Anything else you want to add about your story? Or Erik, do you want to say something about Kim?
So the first thing he said when we were talking about channeling him, he says, we'll meet like when we're doing the sessions, like you're going to get to feel his energy. And he has been kind of messing with you. He says you're not quite noticing it, but you will. He messes with things, he moves them around, messes with like your lights and different electrical like
I thought that was my mom.
Yeah.
They're probably cohorts in crime.
Yeah. Your mom does too, but Erik has really been around you a lot lately. And let's see what I say. No, he's just talking about how much your path is opening up, and it's just still going to continue to open up and just go all different directions, but stay like on that healing path, and you're just going to grow and grow, he says. Yeah,
I sure hope so. That's the plan. So let me ask Erik. I had a friend of mine who comes over and stays a night and brings his dog, and I've got the Last Supper picture up on my wall, and the dog is constantly looking up at that picture and barking and barking. And so is that him? Because it's been the last few days.
He said yes. It is.
What's he doing? Is he like, I'm Mary Magdalene?
Yeah, he goes, he's sitting at the table. He's joining the table or whatever. But yeah, he's just being silly. But yeah, definitely is. Yeah.
And he loves to play with our little furry friends.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's driving the dog nuts. I think it's funny because I said, "Yep, somebody's there."
Yeah. That's how I met him. He was playing with Bella, my Bella.
Yeah. So Erik, where were you sitting at the table? Who were you next to? Or maybe you were sitting in somebody's lap. I don't know.
No, he just shows he's on the end. He's right at the end of the table, just kind of listening, like he's like listening, like what do they got going on, And then he's just being silly though. Yeah.
Silly is his middle name, his other middle name.
Yeah. And he was actually showing me dressed like them, like he's dressed. He always does that. He'll be like, I'll not be paying attention at first, and I'll look over and he'll have some kind of concoction on just to catch me off guard.
I always want to keep people on their toes, huh, Erik?
Yes, definitely, definitely.
So Kim,
Now I
So
know.
you,
Now,
anything else you want to add to your amazing abilities? I'm so glad we're getting
oh,
more light workers like you
yeah,
in the
yeah.
collective. We just so need it as
oh,
our ascent.
yeah, I
Yeah.
also, you know what else is the teaching. She teaches Reiki
Yes.
for
Oh,
people and to do it on animals too, which animals love Reiki. So she's got some ideas that she's working on that are coming up too for that.
is that
So
do you have to be where you are, or do you teach remotely, or both?
Remotely. COVID was actually pretty great with starting that
Oh,
remote. In
yeah.
fact, all of my classes were remote. 99% of my business is remote.
Good.
There's just no time or space. And you know, you can do
right.
Reiki through the with an animal, and you can kind of see if you put live feeds of animals and have the class do Reiki, you can start to see the animals interact. And they could be in Africa and you know, 12 people are
Wow.
joining us from everywhere.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
amazing. That's how distance Reiki comes in. I can get a picture or, you know, what have you. And I had clients in India and they had the specific time of 11:30 at night and I would do Reiki on them and they would feel it. And I'm in Oregon. And
Hmm.
so,
That's pretty
yeah.
amazing. You know, my second eldest, Michelle, is an emergency room nurse, and she uses a lot of healing. I mean, she's never taken any formal classes, but like hands on. I said, man, you need to. And also, she knows light language, so she's going to help with the encoding of the crystals that I'm going to start doing
Oh, awesome.
with the Atlantean and
Yeah,
Arcturian.
yeah.
She's going to encode the light language. So I told her, you know, you probably need to also like learn Reiki. Um,
Yeah.
so
Reiki's
I'm
beautiful.
gonna, yeah. So I'm gonna have her sign up with one of your classes if she can.
Oh, that would be
It's
great. Yeah, I'm offering
frustrating.
them.
Yeah,
I'm
she's
starting to work with the angels now. I'm with like Archangel Metatron,
oh
teaching that class, Akashic Records, because Archangel Michael, I'm sorry, Archangel Metatron is the keeper of the Akashic Records, but everybody wants to know what's in the Akashic Records, which is
Right.
fascinating as well.
Right.
So
Right.
I
those
love
classes are coming
Metatron.
out.
Sometimes when I do
Yeah.
a scalar service on somebody, he'll show up shortly after by their bed, this big, ominous looking black figure looking. So they're like, "Oh my God, you made things worse. There's a negative entity." No, no, no. You had it.
Yeah.
So fine, but
Yeah,
never.
I've had to tell people too that just because it's dark, you know, like
Oh,
a darker in color doesn't mean it's negative.
no,
Doesn't mean
don't
Right.
it's,
be
yeah.
spiritually racist. But early on in this, I swear to God, I thought that Metatron. I thought I just heard Metatron. I thought that's a transformer, like one of those toys. It
A
sounded
lot
like
of people do.
It does sound like that.
Metatron. So
It
Erik,
does.
do you think Kim will want to join the team? We have this tab on Atlanta Scalar at the very top. One of the tabs says the team. And if you click on it, you see um, all of our members on the team and their picture and all they have to offer and their information. So
Yeah,
I oh,
absolutely.
we do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
All right.
yeah,
Well, take
yeah.
a look at that, and then you'll see how it's most of it's formatted, and that'd be fun. Hmm?
That sounds like fun. That sounds like fun. Yeah, I've got, you know, it's funny because when I started this, I had mentor after mentor, and they said, you need to stick with this one thing and with this one demographic and this and that. And as a holistic health practitioner, I mean, I've had teenagers, I've had elderly, I've had men, women of all different sorts. And it was really hard for me to fit in that box. And I finally told somebody, you can't keep me in a box. You just
Mm-mm.
can't, because what I offer is, you know, tools for everybody and every little thing. I mean, and it's not, maybe it's not hypnosis, maybe it's Reiki, maybe it's sound. I have a program called Voice Bio that I learned off Dr. Kate Thompson, because when you talk, you sing. And so you talk on the microphone, it gives you a graph and it shows you where you're deficient. And so
Um,
it's a wonderful tool.
that's
So I
awesome.
just can't stick to one niche.
No, no, no. Because each like a patient. Some need
Mm-mm.
antibiotics. Some need to just put
Have
steam.
surgery?
Surgery, yeah,
right.
sure. So you know, you are the physician that decides. the light worker that decides what people need. So it's not like I'm going to order this part of the buffet. No.
Yeah, and I didn't sign up to heal just one demographic when there's so many 8 billion people in the world, you know. So
Yeah. Yeah.
we need help. Yeah.
All
So
right.
Do
that's
you
my goal.
do you also have like life coaching of some kind too? I thought I seen on your website some kind of
Uh,
spiritual guidance or coaching.
there's it's a soul sync program, and I'm going to revamp that. But originally I had this thought of this program with coaching people, but also mixing the hypnosis with the Reiki, because when my thought is when you heal, when you try to help somebody to heal, not only does it have to be on a physical level, but it's got to be on an energetic level too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We have so many idiosyncrasies that people don't know what the cause was, when in fact it was an energetic thing. And
Mm-hmm.
so there's no meds for it. You know, hypnosis can help on a subliminal level, but the whole thing is that if you don't fix the energy, none of it's going to work.
That's true.
And so, yeah, it's the Soul Sync
Right.
program. I might revamp that a little bit.
That's cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So if we could do a Zoom together and put it on YouTube like we're doing now, of you demonstrating any of your gifts, what would it be?
I would imagine it would be the past life regression if I can get one of my interesting clients who would be okay with that, you know, because there's some that have just that we have uncovered many stories and fascinating. And so this particular client that I have in mind, and she might be willing to do that. We went from life to life to life, and there was a common thread, a theme, whether she was male or female, with some of her physical issues present day. But it was fascinating what she does, because when somebody's in a past life regression session, they don't know about the present time right now. They're there. They're literally back in 1844 or 1620. They're there, and it's just it's mind-blowing what they can talk about and how much information they can feed us to help us to this day. So that would be it, probably, the past life regression.
Do you ever feel like there's a future life that somehow is bleeding through to the current life and causing issues?
Oh, totally. Because, you know, we can do future progression too. And it's an art form. We have to be very careful with it. But, oh, yes, 100%.
Yeah, that must be hard because, everything is like quantum probabilities, right? So we don't totally know what the future holds. Well, I don't know. Maybe we do because everything's happening right now. So
right, Eric just said, Eric just said that it's the same in a way with past and future, as in with free will, because since it's happening all at one time, it's kind of hard to put that on it, to put that like put exacts on it, but like things could be happening. But that's why it's so changeable, he says. So that's why the past life or future life regression works so good, is because you can change it. You can change what happened. You can change their minds about it and their energy about it. Yeah.
100%. You know, like when we go back into the Akashic records, just had a class on it yesterday, and we changed the story. And we can rewrite that story. But we also have to remember that we're multidimensional beings as well.
Yeah.
And so our future may not be on Earth, it may be somewhere else, but you know, we can change the narrative very easily.
That's
which makes it a lot of fun.
My sister Terry and I, she has done past life regression well before Erik died or anything. And so when I did past life regression, demonstrating that, I can't remember who did it, but it was like we were in this like another planet with these big white domes, and these domes we were supposed to take care of. I never found out exactly what it was, or maybe I did and I forgot. But I told Terry that. I said, "Oh my God, my past life regression was the same. These weird white domes, these mysterious domes, and it's almost like sand everywhere." So anyway, so
Wow.
Yeah. It's I don't do past life regression, but I do past life readings, like where Erik will show me stuff, and future life readings. I just think that it's so interesting, like to hear or see somebody's story, especially the future ones or even the past ones that are on other planets. Some of the stuff I don't quite understand, so I have to kind of make a reference to Earth stuff to it, because it's kind of strange, but it's kind of neat. It's fun to see,
Well, some people don't want to be changed. Like I did I didn't do it, but anyway, I did it with dowsing rods. Yes, what century, blah, blah, blah.
Mm.
And it ended up, it took a long time, but it ended up that her son, she was a scientist. I can't remember exactly, but anyway, she blinded him accidentally because of acid, right? Anyway,
Mm.
she has retinitis pigmentosa, and I said, "Well, let me help you fix that." I said she don't want to. She wants to have it. You know,
Yeah.
Wow.
some
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
have this victim mentality. They're so they 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 feel comfort in their disease. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
What a human is, that's a human thing.
Yeah.
Erik says, change is more uncomfortable than staying in something you know, even if that something you know is uncomfortable.
Mm.
Mostly uncomfortable looking from others' point of views, though, because that person in it may be comfortable, you
Right.
know?
And maybe on a deep level, she felt like she needed to be punished. You know,
Hmm. Yeah, it could be. Yeah,
nobody
because we're
does.
only drawn to do or change what we're supposed to, or what is going to get us to that next step on our
Right.
journey.
Right.
So,
Right. You know, and some with being sick on a human level in this lifetime, the attention.
Yeah.
And
This
that's
yeah,
is that.
finding with those who don't want to change is they're getting the
It's
attention
secondary
of, you know,
gain. Secondary
yeah, it's a
gain.
secondary gain. Exactly.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
so
So
sad,
was
but
your
you know,
illness linked to another life?
it can be.
I
It
mean,
can be.
yours.
There's
hmm.
a
Oh
lot.
yeah,
Yeah,
Do you
there's
think yours
definitely.
was the one that almost killed you? Have you ever
Yeah.
have you ever looked into that?
I
You
have
probably
not.
did
I've done a
yourself.
past life regression with a colleague of mine who traced me back into, she goes, "You were in Egypt as a queen." She goes, "I keep seeing the queen." And that's what I tell everybody. I'm not a princess, I'm a queen. And so I don't know where that came from, but then she's like, "You were a queen in this area." But we haven't traced it. We haven't traced that back. I'd really like to, because I have a stomach issue that there's no reason for it. And when I was diagnosed with it, it took me by surprise. I had no symptoms.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I don't do this, I don't do that, I don't do that. Why is that there? And
yeah,
so,
Yeah, done. That'd be
we're,
fun.
yeah, it'd be fun to see where it come from, because, you know,
yeah,
even according to Dolores Cannon, if you can go back into a specific life where it started and heal it, you heal it in all directions.
Yes.
It's
Right.
done,
yeah,
you know.
yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
my goal.
Yeah. I found out the same kind of thing. I found out through Jennifer a few years ago why I had the kidney thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she's seen a past life where there was like a shotgun, like I got shot like in the back.
Right.
And now I have a life of I mean, there's other things I'm sure, because there's usually more than one reason why we go through stuff, not just one. But
Right.
this was part of it, of why it was staying with the kidney stuff, the stones and stuff that I had going on.
Gotcha.
That Scalar has helped so much. I have to say, Scalar is just really
Well, I'm
made a
wondering if you
difference.
just need to go back even further to get to the very, 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 very earliest, so that you
Maybe,
Oh yeah.
sure.
yeah, maybe,
Yeah.
maybe,
Yeah,
yeah,
because you keep, like my client that I was referencing to, there's war and trauma in every single life, and we went back all the way to the 1600s,
Yeah.
and so there's more work to
yeah,
be done.
You should
yeah.
But
consider
yeah,
you being the demo then, Ginger. Get you way
Sure,
back if you want.
sure, yeah, yeah. I'm gonna have to cover my. I don't want to be like that. That like
I
look you get when
know,
you
I know.
relax.
No, it's okay.
I don't care. No, I don't care. You know me. I don't care. I,
Funny.
I'm a goofball. I don't care. I don't
You
care.
are.
So.
That's why Erik loves you so much. Big goofball. Like his mama too. So yeah, that'd be cool if we could actually get you completely healed. I feel like Western medicine, which I've practiced for 30 years, is now I look at it, it's necessary, okay? And
Yeah.
by the way, my
Well,
daughter Michelle tried to get into PA school, very difficult. Oh my God. Anyway,
yeah,
much more difficult than getting into med school. But I just feel like it's primitive in comparison to what the energetic healing. And now, MD Anderson, the cancer hospital, they actually have a department of energy medicine. So
there's
nice.
going to be more. There's going to be more of
good,
those. I know
good.
I've probably talked about it before, but Erik shows like in the future, there's going to be centers all over the place that people
Oh,
go to for almost like, how Kaiser, we'll just use that, has like different things inside. Like you can go over here for this doctor, this specialist, and get all your tests done. It's going to be centers like that, but it's going to have like, teach somebody how to meditate or do, past life regression. It's
Sound
just going to
brain
have,
to kill cancer.
Yeah, everything.
For
It's going to have
adults.
all
Yeah.
energetic healing type modalities. He
And
says.
color therapy.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's just
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
And what's
That's
funny,
funny 'cause
sorry. I was just going to say
good.
what's funny is that so many times I'll have clients talking about like an idea they might have, and one of their ideas is I want to start a center. So you got all these people with these ideas moving forward. So it's
it
just a
costs money
start.
though. There needs to be
Yeah,
It
it
is.
does. It
and
does.
more proof, etc. I mean, there was this a video or YouTube, whatever, of a bunch of Reiki practitioners concentrating on the, was it a liver tumor, I think, or maybe prostate tumor? I think it's liver tumor to heal it. And you see it on ultrasound slowly, not really slowly,
Wow.
but just shrinking and shrinking and shrinking.
Wow.
I
Yeah.
know. So
Right. Yeah.
we need evidence like that to get grants and build these centers. And
And they will. They will.
big pharma will fight us all the way, you know?
Yeah, they will,
Yeah.
but there's always a fight with somebody trying to stop somebody from doing something.
AMA would probably
I just
fight.
said.
Yeah, I've been dealing with that too, and it's funny because I work for a medical center, and the minute I mention I'm a holistic health practitioner, it's dismissed. And what I tell people, and I've been on a couple radio shows, we need our doctors.
Yeah, of
It's
course.
fundamental. We need them. Know your numbers, get your labs, get your checkups. But it needs to be more open-minded with adding those tools to the toolbox for overall health and well-being. I was also trying to research because I wanted to try to open a center or something in that forum, research insurance, because I feel like we'd have a lot more clients if insurance would cover this.
Oh my
And
God,
there's
yes.
not.
And let me tell you,
And
Mhm.
the side effects are zilch. That it's not invasive. It's it's not like taking an antibiotic, you start throwing up and get C. diff, or it's these newer ways are have less harm involved, I'm saying.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
It will.
insurance companies
They're
pay for it because god dang it. I mean, you want to
right.
treatment and then
Right.
all the side effects from that treatment and even the
Right.
so
And they will. Eric actually shows me some insurance companies that are actually just for that. And they're because
Really.
if they can make money off of it, because that's what the world really is about for a lot of those kind of things. But he shows me like a different kind of insurance company that's just for that, kind of like you have one maybe for the veterinarian,
yeah,
Yeah.
thing. It's
right.
going to be something like that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's good.
Yeah.
But even things, payment plans like care, the interest free, a lot of them will not accept um,
Right.
these kinds
Right.
of modalities. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Those are some walls
Yeah.
that are going to be broke through eventually. Eventually, when it gets so big that it can, it's almost like he shows me like a dam holding
yeah,
things back, and then it busts the dam open, and you just can't hold it back anymore. It has to go somewhere.
yeah. When
So
all of a
there'll be
sudden this
more.
person goes on the news and they had rife and for their child and their glioblastoma disappeared within a
Hmm.
week, and stories like
Yeah.
that on the in the
Yeah.
media would be
Yeah.
very
More in the proof, and more of the proof that they have too, where they
yes,
see it actually happen.
right,
So
like that
yeah.
one with the liver tumor. If like
Right.
liver tumor.
Right.
Yeah,
Right. And
that's reminiscent of Greg Braden's The Divine Matrix, where he showed this woman who had bladder cancer, and it was in China where they were chanting, and within 3 minutes, I mean, you saw it on the ultrasound, shrink, 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 gone.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just now
Yeah.
started reading his book, The God Code, which is interesting.
Ah,
And
yeah, I love Greg
that
Braden.
because
I've heard of that.
I've read Atlantis Rising, and I found out it had the bad Anunnaki stripped away our light codes and sort of put us in this obedience contract, humanity. And anyway, I was always interested in the name Atlantis. I didn't, I don't know why. I didn't know anything about it. It was before the Disney movie was out, etc. So I named my first company Atlantis. I don't know why. And then we had a boat. We called it Atlantis, then Atlantis Scalar. And then I found out that I was a healer in Atlantis. And I
Mm,
was kind of the go-between. And also Erik was, and Jesus, a
mm.
bunch of people.
Yeah.
Um,
A lot of people.
go-between humans and ETs. And I got the Arcturians to take my crystals and encode them with healing energy. And there's a lot of power in sacred geometry, which the symbols
Oh,
are.
yes.
So anyway, I'm going to work on that.
Yeah.
Help people.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great. It's great. I'm excited. I'm excited.
Yeah, me too. And hopefully
Yeah.
it'll
Yeah.
be an option for people who can't afford scalar energy. And maybe it'll replace scalar energy. I don't know. I don't know. It's gonna be very time consuming though.
Yeah.
Not that
Yeah.
scalar energy isn't, but anyway.
Yeah. It is very time consuming. It's not going to replace it though. He says no. Just going to add to it.
Okay.
Add to it. Yeah. Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. So
Yep.
yeah, look at the team page and kind of send me, well, get in touch with me and I'll give you Lucas, as my son Lucas takes care of all that. And he
Okay.
will put that on the page.
That
Yeah.
would be wonderful. That'd be
Yeah.
wonderful.
No, it will be
Yeah.
wonderful to have you on the team. So,
Oh, thank you. I'm
Ginger,
honored.
Kim, Eric, anything else you want to say before we close?
Stay tuned. I plan on doing a podcast and I'm going to cover a lot of areas. And one of them I'm passionate
Good.
about is codependency.
Good.
And so that is going to be worked on as well as my teaching and materials. And hopefully a radio show is coming soon as well for our local
Yeah.
community here and just trying to get the word out. Because
Yeah.
yeah, what Eric and Ginger had told me is I live in such a small community and I'm trying to get global. Yes, I have clients
Yeah.
around the world, but the more people I can reach, the
Well,
better
maybe we can get
because
something
Yeah.
together because over
yeah.
the years I've developed a pretty good following. So that'd be
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah. Yeah. And she's on, you have a Instagram channel too that she does like reels on and stuff. So we're gonna put that at the bottom too, right? Lisa, I'll
Oh
send it
yeah,
to
as long
you.
as
Yeah.
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 As long
Yeah.
you can probably send it to Paula. Or you can send it to
Palette.
that's up
Yeah.
to me and then I'll send it to
Yeah.
forward it to her. She
Okay.
manages all
Either
my
way.
YouTube stuff.
Either way. Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
better at it than I do.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
all right,
Yeah.
sounds good.
Eric said thank you. Thank you for coming on here and
Thank you,
on
Ken.
Thank you.
sharing everything. So
And
he's
y'all get together if you want to do
excited
the
for you.
demo. If you don't want to set up a demo.
Yeah. Yeah.
I could
Sure.
set up a demo for you. Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
And if you
Yeah.
want to share information about the podcast, do you use constant contact to send flyers out to about your things?
Not yet. I'm in the throes. All this is new. I'm so not tech savvy. Also,
I'm not
it's been a
either.
hard road for me to get an email list and do this and do that.
I
And I'm just so
know, I
old school
know.
pen and paper that
Yeah, I know.
I'm
Mm,
learning.
I can
Not yet,
imagine.
but I
yeah.
usually do
Yeah.
the announcements on like the Instagram or
Yeah,
Facebook or
it's good.
but it's a
All
work in
right.
progress.
Sounds
Yeah.
awesome. We all are.
Yeah.
Thank you, ladies, and thank you, gentlemen. I love you all, and y'all hit
Love
subscribe,
you.
please,
We love
and
you.
also hit the like button because you know what's not to like, really. All right, talk to you later, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.